What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Viper 3 Vids. Today we will be going over a beginner's guide for Rainbow Six Siege. If you're just starting out, this will be perfect for you. This is not console oriented or PC oriented. I will not be going over controls or anything like that. It's simply the simple mechanics and frequent common mistakes of beginners. So enjoy the video. The background game is just that. It's just a game. It's got nothing to do with what we're talking about. So enjoy it, and hope you learned something. So first things first, you can see now that we're in a unranked game, by the way. And we're going to start with the banning phase if you're playing an unranked or ranked, okay? So when you're banning someone, you're typically banning for the map, most likely. Especially if you're playing with a decent 5-stack who knows what they're doing. Common bans will be a Jackal. That'd be a comfort ban, most likely. Thatcher, Thermite, Hibana. Maverick is also banned every once in a while. It's typically a hard breacher because hard breachers are so important in this game. Extremely important. You will always start on defense if you are the orange team. You will always start on offense if you are the blue team. Orange team will always ban first. They will ban one attacking operator. Then blue team will ban 2 operators, 1 attacking and then 1 defending. And then the last ban will go to the orange team as a defending op. So as you can see, since we banned Jackal, they banned Caveira because they don't want us using Cav without a Jackal to find the Cav. That's common. Cav is just a common ban in general, simply the fact that it's a comfort ban. Again, people don't like being interrogated. So you need to make sure that you're coordinating with your team or you're understanding what you're banning. See, you have my team yelling ban Frost there for no reason. There's no reason to ban Frost on this map. She's an easy counter. You look down and shoot her trap. So getting into the first round here, starting on defense, you can typically go to the basement on most maps for your first defense if you're voting. This is not a newcomer game, this is unranked. So newcomer, you're going to be thrown wherever the game decides to put you. If you're starting off, the common operators that I would choose would be a Jaeger, a Mute, Doc, Rook. Those are very easy operators to use. They're not very difficult to use, and you can easily get used to their weapon recoil and all that, whether you're on console or on PC. Just a little background on me: I have played both console and PC now. I'm a very low rank on PC. I just came over to PC, but I was Plat 3, Plat 2 over on Xbox pretty much every season I've played. So yeah, so your operator choice, you need to make sure that you are choosing an operator that is not extremely difficult to use or something along those lines. Like Pulse is definitely a niche operator. Hard to use, kind of, if you don't know what you're doing. Same with Smoke. If you don't know what you're doing with Smoke, you can cause your team to lose simply by not playing Smoke correctly. So I would definitely look at your operator choices before the match even starts to see what you want to play as. Have two or three choices, that way if your operator gets banned or if he gets picked, you still have somebody to play as, obviously. Next thing, so we're going to look at reinforcing and barricading. This is extremely important for any newcomer that is new to Siege. This is very unique to Siege, I believe. I don't know if I've played a game that has features like this. You don't want to barricade or reinforce random things. Typically, you want to go out to in, okay? So your reinforcements want to go on the farthest outermost layer of your OBJ, of your objective, A or B, okay? So as you've seen in this video, I did the garage wall because if I don't do garage wall, that gives them an easy access for Sledge, Ash, Zosh, any soft breach basically can get right through that. Now they have to use a Maverick, a Hibana, an Ace, or a Thermite to get through that wall. Typically you would also bring a Bandit or a Kaid and then you can electrocute that wall, and now they have to get rid of said electrocution in order to get through the wall. What you don't want to do is, first of all, you don't want to be almost a minute into this round barricading things. That is a big no-no. I just noticed that guy was doing that. You don't want to barricade in between OBJs. So what I mean is, where that person barricaded just a second ago, that is probably one of the only barricades that's going to go in between objectives that I can think of off the top of my head right now. simply due to the fact that you're usually going to make rotation holes there, so you can go through the two objectives easily. You have escape routes between the two objectives easily. So make sure that you're not barricading between OBJs. Next thing, barricades, wooden barricades, the ones that go on walls and windows. The windows are automatically going to be done unless it's an inside window, like bank has the inside windows upstairs, so those won't be automatically barricaded. I don't typically barricade unless I know it's a good barricade. Barricades are not used to stop the enemy. That's not what they're used for. They're used to alert you that the enemy is there typically. They have to shoot the barricade, they have to tear it down, or do something to get through the barricade and alert you about it. Also, if the barricade is gone and it was there 2 seconds ago, you know somebody was over there messing with it. You don't want to barricade people out of OBJ. So if you see somebody roaming, shallow roaming right, let's take the blue hall right there for example, and you barricade blue hall door, you have now trapped that person between the stairs and your barricade. So that means that if he gets pushed too hard from blue stairs and needs to quickly get out, he most likely can't because he's got to tear your barricade down. Especially if it's a castle barricade, So you don't want to barricade people out, and you don't want to barricade yourself in either, if that makes sense. If you're in a closet or you're in, let's say, a room in general, and you barricade yourself in that room, the defenders are going to know you're in there simply due to where your barricades are and how they're placed. So, I mean, if your barricades are flipped one way or the other, they're going to know where you were when you placed that barricade. So make sure that you don't barricade yourself or anyone else inside or outside of OBJ, I guess you could say. Back to reinforcements real quick. If you don't know what to reinforce, it's almost always a safe bet to go get hatches. Reinforce hatches. There's usually 2 on an OBJ, maybe 3. At least 1 typically, unless you're all the way upstairs, obviously. Always safe bet to get hatches, especially if they're above you. If you're on the 3rd floor or 2nd floor of a map and you're getting the hatch, you don't really need to most likely. But yeah, hatches are definitely an A1 barricade if you don't know what to barricade. So playing as a defender, you need to understand one thing. The defenders have to come to you. You do not need to go to the defenders. So let your roamers take care of the people that are pestering you from outside the OBJ. If you're a Doc, a Rook, or somebody who's supposed to sit inside of OBJ, or should be sitting inside OBJ, don't push too far out just to go get a kill. Do not get kill hungry. That is the biggest thing that gets people killed in this game, is being kill hungry. Right here I'm actually being kill hungry by peeking this again. Luckily I get the kill, but I did not need to peek that again. I should have ran away, took my 2 kills and ran away. I refragged my 2 teammates that were down, so I didn't need to get that 3rd frag. That's another important thing. If you are roaming, like with a Mozzie or a Jaeger, or Val can roam too. Some people like to duo roam. Some people don't, but if you're newer to the game, I would suggest duo roaming. So both of you and a friend, or you and the random, just roam with each other. You can refrag off each other that way. Sets up nice easy kills for you, and you don't have to deal with you dying and then nobody refragging you. Now it's a 4v5, and then somebody else dies. Now it's a 3v5 because nobody refragged you. Defenders don't like to stick together, and I don't know why. On offense, you see a lot of people group up together and stick together and push one way and isolate themselves into a certain tunnel or a certain channel, I guess you could say, or a hallway, or a certain room. But on defense, it's the complete opposite. People like to be far away from each other. I don't know why. Obviously, you don't want to be like four people deep roaming on one spot. You gotta understand that you need to spread yourself out a little bit, but it's definitely good to duo roam, in my opinion, for newcomers. Next thing is understand that what roaming is. Roaming is not there for fragging. It's not. That's not what your job is. Now, is it good to get frags? Yes. Is it good to get kills? Of course it is. But that is not your job necessarily as a roamer. Your job as a roamer is to waste time and make the defenders come get you. If you're just sitting in a corner upstairs away from the objective and not wasting the defender's time and not making a peep and not harassing them at all, you are not doing your job as a roamer. Even if you get 1 kill or 2 kills, and then they win the round, you didn't do your job as a roamer if they were able to get into the OBJ quick. You need to waste time. That is your main job. Even if you die without any kills, if you wasted 2 minutes of a round, that is 2 minutes down in the round now for the attackers. Another thing too is you need to know when to fall back to the OBJ. Understanding what your team is looking like, how many numbers they have left, what's going on comms, things like that. You need to understand when you need to go back to OBJ. So here you can see that I had a 3v4, which should have been a 4v4 because we had a TK in the very beginning of the round for no reason. But that's when I knew it was time for me to go back or make my way back towards OBJ, because they have the numbers advantage now. So if they want to push on my OBJ, they can, because it's a 4v2 actually, because I'm off site. So you need to make sure that you are pushing back towards OBJ at the correct times. You can see here that I messed up and didn't use any of my barricades. Don't do that either. I should have went and got hatches. Now here's where I make a crucial mistake. I get kill hungry, and this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. It's a 3v2. I'm like, alright, it's 3v2, a minute 40 left. I can go get this Zosh with a flank. Now, I knew she would be watching one of these 2 stairs, either blue stairs, which is what I call it, or main stairs. I was hoping she would watch main stairs, and I can hear her moving around on blue, near blue. So I knew she was watching blue, actually. I didn't need to push this, and I end up paying the price for it by dying. But it is what it is. We end up winning the round anyways, but you can see that I'm still wasting time. This Zosh is going to be solely focused on these stairs. You'll see when I pop up here. This is exactly what a roamer should do. I shouldn't have peeked her here. I should not have peeked her. She was just wasting time. Just sitting there waiting for me to pop up there. But on the flip side, I did waste a lot of time. See, she's just sitting here waiting, looking for me where I'm going. So make sure you keep that in mind, that your job as a roamer is to waste time. And now you can see I'm spam pinging her because she doesn't know where my drone is. But yeah. So make sure on defense, you reinforce the correct things. Don't reinforce between OBJs. Barricade what needs to be barricaded. If anything needs to be barricaded, have a good operator choice. Know your role. Play your role to the best of your abilities. And obviously the normals. Make call outs. Understand what's going on around you. Pay attention to your surroundings. Simple stuff like that. So we won that round, obviously. Okay. So like I said, this video doesn't really have much to do with this game. That's in the background. It's kind of just there for something for you guys to watch. But I will be going off of it here and there, just to make my life a little bit easier. So flipping over to offense, now we'll talk more about offense. So understanding what your team needs on offense is key. So I seen that I just like to play Fuse. That's why I picked him. He just got his update. If you didn't know, he has 4 cluster charges now, and the AK-12 is literally the best AR in the game, next to the C7 that Jackal has. But understanding your role as an attacker is crucial. If you're a support role, you should be on your drone pretty much half the round, if not almost the whole round. I don't want to say the whole round, but you should be on your drone, droning for your entry fraggers, basically from the beginning of the round until you roam clear. So what does that mean exactly? For your Thermite, Hibana, Maverick, Thatcher, somewhat Fuse, Montagne, any support role that you can think of that's not Ash, Jackal, Lion, Fuse to a certain extent, IQ, even Twitch could be an entry fragger if you really wanted her to be. You are droning for your entry fragger. You are supposed to drone your entry fragger in. Ash should not have to drone. She should drone, but she shouldn't have to drone where she's entering. So for example, we'll take this for example right here, right? If I was playing as Ash, right, and I had a good 5 stack, this Twitch or this Thermite or this Montagne, you're gonna see me oof here on this camera. This Thermite or this Montagne should drone me into master bedroom. They should tell me, hey, master bedroom is clear, go ahead and hit it, and keep the drone there until I get in master bedroom, and then drone ahead of me. They should be a little bit ahead of me, but not too much ahead of me. And understand that as an entry fragger, you are supposed to keep up with your drone, not your drone is supposed to keep up with you, necessarily, in most instances. So if your drone is moving, if your drone says it's clear and you're not holding a certain spot, like you're not trying to sit up here in master bedroom, then you should be moving with your drone. Say, hey, let's hit the office next, or let's roam clear the whole top floor. Your job as an entry fragger is to roam clear most of the time. You are clearing out the roamers. You are making sure that there are no roamers around that can hit your support players, your Thermites, your Habanas, your Mavericks, your Aces, things like that, your Montaigne, okay? So once you get droned in as an entry fragger, or once you drone your entry fragger in, they should go for the roamers. Once you clear the roamers, so as you can see here, paying attention to my surroundings, I knew that Thermite died upstairs. I knew that Bandit was going to try and push me. Once you roam clear, then you make a decision of where you want to push the OBJ from. This should already be pre-made if you're playing a good 5-stack, but if you're playing with 5 randoms, obviously this isn't going to really happen, but you need to understand that this is what should happen if you're playing in a 5-stack. So I'm speaking from the perspective that you're going to be playing with a 5-stack. If you're once you finish roam clearing, right, you make your decision on where you want to push from. So we could have been like, hey, if Thermite didn't die, we could be like, hey, Thermite, let's hit this hatch and hit from hatch, 2 hit from hatch, 1 hit from stairs, and then 1 hit from main door, or 1 hit from lobby. And then that's the plan of attack, and we pinch them into kitchen, or pinch them into the back of the OBJ, back of B-bomb. And then you execute the plan. Your execute should be coming around 45 seconds to 30 seconds left in the round. And it should be like a 4v3 or a 4v2 or a 4v1. It won't always be that, obviously, or a 5v2 or a 5v3. It won't always be that, but that's what it should be. Also, your entry fragger is typically your best gun-skilled player, because they have to win the most gunfights. Your Thermite and your Habana and your support players aren't necessarily bad with their guns by any means. If you watch any Pro League game, you'll know that they're not bad with their guns by any means, but they're not trying to top frag. As an entry fragger, you are trying to top frag. If you're solo queuing, you're going to have to drone yourself in. Understand that you have 2 drones. You have 2 of them. You can use that to the best of your ability. Even if you're Thermite or your Maverick or Habana, you can still drone yourself in and make sure it's safe. Now, understand that your utility lost if you lose 2 Thermite charges or 3 Thermite charges without putting 1 down, or 3 Habana charges without putting 1 down. That is a huge loss to the offense. Think about it. Now you can't break through hatches if they're reinforced, walls if they're reinforced. There are a lot of things that you're not going to be able to break through simply due to the fact that you died. So understand that when you're a support player like that and you're solo queuing, kind of let your other teammates make noise before you decide to just push in, like you're seeing here. Understand again that you have 2 drones. I should have droned this out right here. I should have droned out this mirror wall. I didn't know how many were sitting behind it. I knew a mirror or maybe a dock would be sitting behind this long angle, but I definitely should have droned this out better and known what I had coming up. You'll see here I try to jiggle peek it a little bit. I get hit once. I shouldn't have repeat. So my utility lost is 3 flashbangs at that point and my gun, which isn't that big of a utility loss. I had already used both my ash charges to open up that wall if we needed it open. I might have been able to go upstairs and check upstairs, but I didn't. So right here, that is not a default plant. You should not plant there. It should be behind the garbage can right there. The green garbage can is on the left. That's where he should have planted. He might have actually lived from this. But yeah, so just understand what's going on. Reinforce what needs to be reinforced. Don't be silly with your reinforcements. Drone. And yeah, be successful. You'll be successful. I promise you will. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for tuning in.